Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert's Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, NFL Week 18, the final week of the regular season. So last week I went 13-3 on straight up picks, 8-8 against the spread, 11-5 on the over-under, 32-16 and 16 altogether, 66.7%. Year to date, 161 and 95 on the straight up picks, 132 and 124 against the spread, 129 and 127 on the over-under, 54.9%. So not horrible. Bad start. We brought it back. Great week last week. So now we get to figure out who's going to make the playoffs. We're talking about playoffs. Okay, so lots of scenarios. We're going to run down them here. So Miami to win the East, they got to win or tie. Buffalo to win the East, they got to win. For Buffalo to make the playoffs, they need at least a tie. Pittsburgh a loss or a tie. Jacksonville a loss or tie. Houston and Indianapolis a tie. That's not good. Because if you look at the East, or the AFC right now, we got Baltimore at 13-3. They've clinched the number one seed. First round bye. Clinched the North. They have 0 to play for. Miami is 10-5 in the East. Buffalo is 10-6. Now, Miami's clinched at least a wild card. So even if Buffalo wins, Miami's still a wild card team. So they've already clinched the wild card. They're just going for the division right now. Kansas City's clinched the West. They literally have nothing to play for. They are the 3rd seed. They may drop to the 4th seed. I'm not sure. I don't think so. So Mahomes ain't playing. Travis Kelce ain't playing. I understand all that. Jacksonville at 9-7. We have a 3-way tie. Is that correct? In the Houston, Indianapolis, and Jacksonville 3-way tie for the South title. Jacksonville can clinch a playoff berth with a tie. Pittsburgh loss or tie. Pittsburgh loss, Denver loss or tie. Houston, Indianapolis doesn't end in a tie. Doesn't end in a tie. Jacksonville can clinch the AFC South with a win, or if they tie, and Indy and Houston tie. So with Indy and Houston playing one another, Jacksonville, they just got to win. Cleveland already clinched a playoff berth. Buffalo, Indianapolis is put in Houston, so one of those teams will be in on a good chance. The winner of that will be in as a wild card team, and then if Jacksonville wins, they'll be in as a playoff team. Pittsburgh, that's interesting. They're the first game. 9-7 going against the 13-3 Baltimore Ravens. So Pittsburgh, to clinch a playoff berth, Pittsburgh needs a win plus a Buffalo loss. So Buffalo could win in the division or lose and be out of the playoffs. Pittsburgh can win, clinch playoff berth with a win and Jacksonville loss or tie. With a win or Houston Indianapolis tie. With a tie, a Jacksonville loss, a Houston Indy doesn't end in a tie. Doesn't end in a tie. Or a Jacksonville loss, Denver win, and then that doesn't tie. So Pittsburgh needs they need to win at the bare minimum, and then they need lots of help. Pittsburgh is favored by 3. The fact that Baltimore's got everything wrapped up, there's no chance we're seeing Lamar Jackson playing. If he does, I think he's the craziest person in the world, so it's Baltimore for that. So Pittsburgh, I got them winning covering under on the 35. Next up, Houston 9-7, Indianapolis Colts 9-7. Okay, so Houston can clinch the South with a win and a Jacksonville loss. Okay, that's simple. But if Jacksonville wins, they clinch the division. So if Jacksonville win, they get the division. So if Jacksonville ties, this game ties, Jacksonville wins the division. I don't know if we're going to get that, but I got Houston. They're favored by 1. Houston -1, under in the 47. Unfortunately, I think the Colts will miss the playoffs there. All right, we're going to move over to the NFC for a moment. We got the 7-9 Atlanta Falcons. They're going up against the 8-8 New Orleans Saints, and I don't think this game has any playoff things on it here. Let's take a look. Atlanta, they have been eliminated already, and then New Orleans is on the outside but looking in. So let's see here. New Orleans is 8-8. They're tied with Tampa 8-8. Oh, Atlanta's not officially eliminated. They're 7-9. So let's look at the scenarios here for this game. So New Orleans, they can clinch NFC South with a win plus a Tampa loss. They can, if Tampa loses and New Orleans ties, they can clinch a playoff berth with a win, a Seattle loss, Green Bay loss, or tie. Atlanta can clinch the NFC South with a Atlanta win and Tampa loss. So again, win and get some help. A lot of these teams. Green Bay's even, holy cow, Green Bay's even got more. Oh, I guess they can win. Number one is they win, they're in. Okay. But New Orleans, they need to win the South. They need a win and help Tampa losing to make the playoffs. They need a win, and Seattle and Green Bay both to lose. They are favored by 3 against Atlanta. I got them winning, covering it under on the 42. The 11-5 Cleveland Browns, who already clinched the wild card berth, go up against the Cincinnati Bengals, who are 8-8. Cincinnati is eliminated already. Cincinnati's actually favored by 7. I don't know if Cleveland's going to. I think they're going to treat this like the third preseason game kind of deal, where you don't play all your starters. You just kind of go through the motions. You're already in the playoffs. You're already a wild card in the playoffs. You can't win the division. You're not going to be able to host a playoff game. You're just going to be one of the wild card teams. So why even risk getting somebody hurt? So Cincinnati's favored by 7. I got them winning, covering it under on the 37.5. Jacksonville and Tennessee. Jacksonville 9-7. Tennessee's 5-11. So Jacksonville is playing for the division. We already went over that. To clinch the division, they need to win, or they need an Indy-Houston tie, which I don't think is happening. Or they need a Jacksonville tie, Indy-Houston tie. We're not getting 2 ties. But as long as they win, that's kind of where they're at. They win, and they're in. So playing a 5-11 Tennessee, yeah, that 5-11 Tennessee can reach up and snap them. But you know what? I don't think they will. I got Jacksonville winning, covering, and over on the 41. The 11-5 Detroit Lions going against the 7-9 Minnesota Vikings. Those Detroit Lions have already clinched the division. They're already going to host a playoff game. They got nothing to lose. So, but they're going against Minnesota, and Minnesota's not even in the playoff. They're in the wild card hunt. I wouldn't be surprised if Detroit doesn't kind of also pull that we got nothing to lose, why are we putting our players at risk kind of deal. But I still think they could pull this out. They're favored by 3. You know what? Yeah, Detroit -3, under on 46. Next up, a couple non-playoff teams. The 6-10 New York Jets versus the 4-12 New England Patriots. The end of the Bill Belichick era. New England favored by 1.5. I got them winning, covering, and over on the 30.5. The 8-8 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Oh, the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers. They need to win the NFC South. They need to at least tie, and Seattle lose and Green Bay lose to make the playoffs, or make the wild card. They are going against the 2-14 Carolina Panthers. Tampa Bay's favored by 4.5. I got them winning, covering, over on the 36. Green Bay. They're playing the 7-9 Bears. The Packers need a win to clinch the playoff berth. A win. A Green Bay tie. Plus a Seattle loss or tie. Plus a New Orleans loss or tie. A Green Bay tie, Seattle loss, Tampa Bay loss. A Green Bay tie, Seattle tie, Tampa Bay loss or tie. Minnesota loss or tie, Seattle loss, Tampa Bay loss, Minnesota loss or tie, Seattle loss, New Orleans loss. So they need a win to make the playoffs. Let's just go with that. And then if they lose, we'll figure it out from there. If they lose, they need lots of help to get there. So Green Bay's favored by 3. I get them winning covered under on the 45. 11-5, Dallas Cowboys against the 4-12 Washington Commanders. Dallas needs a win to get the division. So to clinch the NFC East, Dallas needs to win, a tie or Philly loss. So Dallas is favored by 13. I got them winning covering and over on the 47. Philadelphia, they're 11-5. They are going against the 5-11 New York Giants. So we have Giants and the Washington Commanders that can play spoilers here and affect the outcome of the NFC East, even though they are not playoff teams, which I kind of like. That these teams have to go down to the last game and play their guts out in order to get to where they want to get in the playoffs. Philly's favored by 5.5. So Philly needs to clinch the NFC. They need a win and a Dallas loss or tie, or they need to tie and a Dallas loss. So Dallas just needs to win. So in order for Dallas to win the East, they need a win. If Dallas loses, Philly needs to win and go from there. So let's see here. Where am I going with this? Yeah, so regardless, Dallas and Philadelphia are at least wildcard teams. The winner, whoever wins, if they both win, then Dallas is the champion, is the NFC East champion. They host a playoff game. If Philadelphia wins, Dallas has to lose for Philadelphia to be the division champions. Plain and simple. That's pretty straightforward. Denver 8-8 versus the Las Vegas Raiders 7-9. Let me pull that on here. Denver has been eliminated in they've both been eliminated. This is a non-playoff game. Vegas is favored by 3. I got them winning, covering it over 37 at home. Kansas City Chiefs 10-6 versus the 5-11 Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers are favored by 3.5. Like I said earlier, if I was Kansas City, I ain't playing nobody because they got nothing to lose. They're 10-6. They won the West. They're hosting the playoff game. They can't lose that. So why even put anybody out? And they already said Mahomes and Kelsey aren't playing. Chargers favored by 3.5. I do have them winning, covering it under the 35. The 9-7 Los Angeles Rams going up against the 12-4 San Francisco 49ers. So both teams, the Rams have already clinched the playoff spot. San Francisco's already clinched first round bye. Honestly, I think this is going to be a bunch of backups playing. This is not going to be the game that everyone wants it to be. They're saving it for the playoffs. 49ers are favored by 4. I am taking the Rams +4 over on the 41. The 11, we already went over the Philadelphia game. Philadelphia winning, covering 5.5 and under on the over on the 42. Seattle Seahawks 8-8 versus the 4-12 Arizona Cardinals. Seattle can clinch a playoff berth with a Seattle win and the Green Bay loss or tie. Seattle tie, Green Bay and Tampa loss. Seattle tie, Green Bay, New Orleans loss. They need to win and hope for help. They are playing the 4-12 Arizona Cardinals. Seattle's favored by 3. I got them winning, covering and under on the 47.5. And then finally, for the AFC East, we have the Miami Dolphins 11-5 hosting the 10-6 Buffalo Bills. Miami wins, they have the AFC division. Buffalo wins, they have the AFC division. Simple. Win and you're division champ, lose your wild card. But if Buffalo loses, for them to be a wild card team, they need a Pittsburgh loss, a Jacksonville loss. So they need either tie or a Pittsburgh loss or tie, a Jacksonville loss, or Houston Indy tie. So if Buffalo wants to make the playoffs, just win. I know it's easier said than done, but and I'm actually taking Buffalo. I want Stephon Diggs to finally do something. He hasn't done much lately, and I have him on my fantasy team, so I know Josh Allen is a better quarterback than he's been playing. But Buffalo -2.5 and over on the 48.5. Did you get all that? We got that all straight, right? All the playoff scenarios are straight. Everyone's ready to go for tomorrow and Sunday. Yeah, I don't know if we are or not, but we're going to try. But you know what? We're going to watch. We're going to root for our teams. We are going to go, yay, we're in the playoffs. Boo, we're not in the playoffs. Hey, next year will be a better season, right? That's pretty much how it's going to go. And then next week we'll start the playoff. Stay tuned to Robert Sports Show for the college football championship game preview as well. As always, thanks for watching Robert Sports Show, and don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports channel content.